This is the big question, actually. I mean, on the one hand, we know very well the illegality of these displacements. According to international law, displacing one civilian from his or her home is a war crime. And if this becomes widespread or systematic, it turns into a crime against humanity. However, we can see that the that international law generally is not being implemented and enforced equally in this world. Israel has been not only displacing Palestinians, but actually committing a genocide. And despite that, it has enjoyed impunity. Of course, this is not absolute. As we know, there are several cases, legal cases in international courts. We have South Africa versus Israel, genocide case. We have Nicaragua versus Germany, which I think is a very, very important case as well, that claims that Germany supported Israel during the time of genocide and war crimes, which also looks at third-party responsibility during such crimes. And there is the International Criminal Court that has already accused Netanyahu and Gallant of a number of war crimes. And I believe that the more it continues investigating war crimes and crimes against humanity, the more it's going to also present cases and arrest warrants against other Israeli officials who are involved in these crimes. However, as long as Israel is receiving support from the most powerful countries and most importantly the United States, which unconditionally supports the Israeli genocide and war crimes and crimes against humanity. We saw that even the very few restrictions that the former President Biden had decided regarding some weaponry export to Israel, um, Trump has lifted these restrictions and has decided to send, these 1 ton or 2,000 pounds uh, um, bombs to Israel. Hence, this is, a situation where we can see that the support to Israel, the unlimited support to Israel, is going to cause more crimes, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. And the only solution for this is more state intervention from other countries that believe in international law, believe in human rights. And we could see the Hague initiative recently that is part of the representation of supporting international law for not only for Palestine, but for humanity and, for all humanity.
Mr. Nacha, now you've mentioned that there is little to do regarding a local governance and community resilience against the Israeli imposed humanitarian hub plan. So also, how can a unified Arab position then translate into tangible support for the Palestinians amidst the current crisis? Dr. Nasiba mentioned the role of the international community. So can a unified Arab position?
Of course, it can make a difference, especially if they have like a supporting a decision to end the occupation, as the United Nations mentioned in its decision by the end of September. Maybe they must put like an action plan against the Israeli occupation action, and maybe we have a lot of expectation from this Arab committee next week and or 3 days after 3 days that will be held in Cairo. Maybe they will have a plan for the Palestinian case and the implementation of the United Nations decision for the Palestinian case. I'm not sure what they can do a lot, but in this stage, this position of rejecting ending the Palestinian case in a regional solution and transferring the Palestinian will be good position, but I still expect more action plans against the Israeli occupation, action against the Palestinian, maybe by threatening the interest of Israel in the Middle East, for example. I think it's a lot, but still, this is what we hope as Palestinian from the Arab countries to take an action, not just to have like a declaration that says that we believe in the two-state solution or the right of the Palestinian to have their an independent state, or we are against transferring the Palestinian. It's not enough. It's good, but it's not enough.
Dr. Nasiba, how do the proposed Israeli plans impact the established legal framework for the occupied territories, specifically regarding the aid access and the civilian protection?
You mean the Israeli proposal?
Yes.
Well, the Israeli proposal is contrary to international law altogether for several reasons. On the one hand, the International Court of Justice, in its recent advisory opinion, has has ordered Israel to withdraw as soon as possible from the occupied Palestinian territory. It has declared the Israeli occupation of the occupied Palestinian territory illegal, and that it has to be terminated as soon as possible. Israel is prolonging its occupation, and not only prolonging its occupation, but also making its access and control of the humanitarian aid that will be delivered to Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, in a place that has been totally destroyed by Israel over the past year and a half, that it wants to make it as maybe a reward to certain people, as a punishment to other people, as a way to control the population and make sure that they do not live in areas that it wants to totally cleanse from Palestinians. I think this is very dangerous, and I do not think that this type of plan is applicable. At the end of the day, the Israeli occupation has to end. If it wants to negotiate anything, it has to negotiate when it's going to leave, how it's going to leave, etc., but not the prolonging of the control and the occupation and the apartheid that it has been committing for the past decades, not only a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Nacha, do you feel that, considering the ceasefire stalled talks, now what legal avenues exist to ensure the accountability for the breaches of international law during this conflict?
Actually, to be honest, we lose this interest in what the international law could be, or the international community can done for the Palestinian, because since years we hear about a lot of decisions, but no actions is taken against what is happening in Palestine. We have a lot of I don't know. There's no international will to end what is happening here in Palestine. Israel have the authority to do whatever it wants against the international law. No one is taking any action against that, and I don't think that in the near future the world will change suddenly and stand by the Palestinians and the Palestinian rights. So talking about the international community now, if it's about feeling, it's not about legal talk. It's about feeling. As Palestinian, I don't feel that the international community will take any action against what is happening in Palestine now. There's no will to end the occupation. This decision for ending the occupation is like one of hundreds of decisions that is taken against Israel, but no action really done actually. So as Palestinian, we have two things to live in: believing in our rights and hoping that the future will be better. Till then, we are struggling struggling against the occupation and for our liberty, and that's all what we have. We hope that the Arab countries will support us as much as possible, and more countries will stand inside of the Palestinian rights. But till now, I don't think that the international community is willing or have the will to do anything in what is happening here in Palestine, and all of these escalations of attacking the civilians in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, all these means of um, a, war crimes that it's happening in Palestine, and all of these means of being against the international law and all the human rights that we witness and saw in the Palestinian territory. No one is willing to do anything, and I think that it will be like this for the near future. We don't put a lot of hope on the international community, but we believe in ourselves as Palestinian, in our struggle, in our beliefs, in our rights as Palestinian. And I think if we are talking about feeling, this is what we feel as Palestinian, that we must support ourselves and struggle more and more till we got our liberty.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Nasiba, what strategies can be employed to ensure the continuation of aid and reconstruction efforts in Gaza despite the Israeli control and potential ceasefire breakdowns?
Well, I cannot imagine a situation in which the humanitarian aid will continue while the Israelis continue to control the Gaza Strip. Maybe this was possible before, but since this genocide has started, and since Israel declared that it's going to use food and water and medicine and all types of humanitarian aid as a weapon of war, as a way to displace Palestinians from their homes, the only thing we can learn from that is that as long as Israel is controlling the Gaza Strip and controlling the borders of the Gaza Strip with other countries, the Gaza Strip is not going to be able to survive anymore. We've seen that. We could see how, despite the agreement to stop fighting and to get humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, and despite the exchange of prisoners that has taken place, we saw that Israel continued to prevent a lot of the items that it had agreed to allow to enter to the Gaza Strip, including the bulldozers that are going to remove the rubble from its place, or help construct new small structures for people to live in, including a lot of other equipment, including these caravans that can be used as temporary living spaces for Palestinians. All of that has been prevented, and much more, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But what this means is that if Israel continues to control the Gaza Strip and the borders of the Gaza Strip, the genocide will continue. And this is not a situation that can happen. Any agreement should certainly include the withdrawal of Israel from the boundaries of the Gaza Strip, as well as the inside of the Gaza Strip.
Yes.